Hello, SharePoint enthusiasts. I'm Rahul, and welcome back to Build Your First SharePoint Client-Side Web Part. In our previous session, we covered Node.js installation and delved into the details of TypeScript. If you missed that, be sure to check it out. Today, we are diving straight into building our first client-side web part for SharePoint. Ready to get hands-on with the code? Let's jump right in. With our Node.js and TypeScript foundations already set, let's dive into the tools or dependencies required to set up a SharePoint framework project. The SharePoint framework development and build toolchain leverages various popular open source tools. While most dependencies are included in each project, you need to install a few dependencies globally on your workstation, such as Gulp, Yeoman and Yeoman SharePoint Generator. Let's get it installed one by one. You can also install all of them in one go. The first tool we need is Gulp, a powerful task runner. If you haven't installed Gulp CLI yet, I'll guide you through the process. Gulp will help automate various tasks in our SharePoint development workflow. Open your command line interface and type the following command: npm install gulp CLI. This will install Gulp CLI globally on your machine, allowing us to use it in any project. With Gulp in place, let's move on to Yeoman. Yeoman is a scaffolding tool that helps us kickstart our projects with predefined templates. Installing Yeoman is simple, and I'll walk you through the steps to ensure a smooth setup. Open your command line interface and type the following command: npm install yo global. This will install Gulp globally on your machine, allowing us to use it in any project. Now that we have Yeoman, let's install the SharePoint generator. This generator provides templates and tools specifically tailored for SharePoint development. It's a crucial part of our toolkit for building client-side web parts. Open your command line interface and type the following command: at Microsoft Generator SharePoint. This will install Gulp globally on your machine, allowing us to use it in any project. With Gulp, Yeoman, and the SharePoint generator in our arsenal, we are ready to scaffold our first client-side web part. I'll guide you through selecting the right options for your project, ensuring a solid foundation for our coding journey. Alright, folks, it's demo time. We are about to dive into the exciting process of scaffolding our SharePoint client-side web part. If you are following along, make sure you have Gulp CLI, Yeoman, and the SharePoint generator installed. Ready? Let's get our hands dirty and kickstart our project. First things first, let's open our command line interface. If you already have a specific directory where you want to create your project, navigate to it using the cd command. For instance, cd path to your project. Now, let's run Yeoman and the SharePoint generator. Type the following command and hit enter: yo at Microsoft SharePoint. Yeoman will now prompt you with a series of questions. These include things like project name, web part name, description, and more. Answer these questions based on your project requirements. Don't worry, you can always go back and change these later. Once you've answered all the prompts, Yeoman will start the scaffolding process. It's creating the project structure, downloading necessary dependencies, and setting up the initial files. This may take a moment, so grab a cup of coffee if needed. Now all required dependencies are installed. We are almost done with the setup. Let's try to execute our project running command gulp serve in command prompt. As you can observe, there is an error saying no development certificate found. Generate a new certificate manually. When using the SharePoint framework's local web server for testing custom solutions, it defaults to HTTPS with a self-signed SSL certificate. Developers must manually configure their environment to trust this certificate. A gulp task is provided in each project for this purpose, and developers can choose to configure it during project creation or later. After creating a project with the Yeoman generator, Running a specific command from the project's root folder is necessary to execute this configuration process. Now the command has been executed successfully. Let's try to run the project running command gulp serve. This time there is no error, but in the browser we can't see anything. It's because by default it will launch a browser with the specified hosted workbench URL specified in your project. Let's change the tenant domain to the URL of your SharePoint tenant. Now let's open the VS Code terminal to execute command gulp serve. What do you think? Will it work this time? I don't think so. We got an error here. This error says that gulp.ps1 cannot be loaded because running scripts is disabled on this system. To resolve this issue, we need to execute the below command. What do you think? No, it won't work as we need to execute this command in administrator mode. Let's reopen the VS Code in administrator mode and execute again. This time we didn't get any errors. Let's execute the gulp serve now. Superb! This time we can see the SharePoint workbench. Let's add our newly created Hello World web part to this page. Finally we did it. Well, there you have it, fellow developers, you've successfully built your first SharePoint framework web part. Congratulations on reaching this milestone. I hope you found today's tutorial insightful and that you are feeling more confident in your SharePoint development journey. Before we wrap up, I want to express my gratitude to each one of you for tuning in. Your engagement, questions, and enthusiasm fuel this community, and I appreciate every like, comment, and share. Remember, we are on this coding adventure together. If you enjoyed building this web part and want more SPFx insights, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on our latest tutorials, tips, and tricks. Your support is invaluable, and I can't wait to continue sharing knowledge with you. In our next video, we'll be diving into some advanced customization techniques. We'll explore how to enhance the functionality of your web part, tackle more complex scenarios, and optimize performance. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. This is Rahul from Build Your First SharePoint Framework web part, signing off. Thank you for being part of our growing community. Remember, the best code is the one you write, and the best developer is the one who never stops learning. Happy coding, and I'll catch you in the next video.